All right, let's take this music down. All right. Good morning. Yeehaw! It's time for 2 Tuesday with the Revolution in the Morning show. And then tonight, 8 to 10 p.m., those Trump assassination files. So come on down and join us. That's right, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. And I definitely today am going to get outside and set all this up and do some live streaming this afternoon sometime. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I'm also gotta split some wood. I gotta thaw 5, 6, I don't know, as many as 6, I guess. There are 8. 2 days, 3 days, 3 days is 9 pork barbecues, and well, see if I can't sell them. It's NASCAR race weekend, and I got to get some wheels for the Trump assassination files truck. Trailer, excuse me. The trailer needs wheels. So, the Obamagate trailer with all of the conspirators on. You'll see that this afternoon if you catch up with me. Hopefully I can get it set up and I can organize it, and then I can give a couple hours head notice before anybody, so you guys got some time to tune in or of course, it will be recorded, and you'll be able to catch it on the rebound. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting times. We've got all kinds of good news and information coming out here that you won't believe. It's the truth that is, we knew that everybody said, oh, come on, that's got to be a lie. That's, something's going on here. What's the problem? Hey, yeah. Well, the first problem that we have here in the United States of America is that the pedo president of the Democrat Party, Joseph, I'm just a lying sack of shit, Biden, has declared I'm running for president. Somebody's got their hand shoved up my backside so far, they're keeping me standing upright. And with this earpiece in my ear and Barack Obama giving me the words, oh, did I say that? Did I say that out loud? Look, Joe Biden's the perfect Manchurian president. Man, he's got less brain cells than Reagan. And that's saying something. That's why, for 5 years, we had the CIA H.W. Bush presidency. Yeah, followed by 8 years of the first rapist CIA connected president, William Jefferson Clinton. And then that son of a Bush installed because, well, the first rapist, after 8 years of the first rapist, Bill Clinton, hell, you could have elected a turd and just polished it. Oh, they did. They got little Georgie Bush. His fame before that was, well, puking on the Japanese prime minister or ambassador. I forget which, but yeah, whatever, right? Yeah, what else we got going on? Man, I'm telling you, Joe Biden running for president again. Jesus. Who would have thought, with this, the looming indictment and the looming impeachment of Joseph R. Biden. People act as if Joe Biden, that has been his family has been paid off by the tune of more than $50 million directly by the CCP and their, well, what look, everything in China is owned, directed, whether you want to know it or not, in the end, by the CCP. They control everything. There's no fucking freedom in China. That's why Joe Biden and the Chinese government and Hunter Biden and the Biden family have essentially partnered together Joe Biden's even going to be using TikTok, the Chinese brainwashing control system, where the algorithms, the synthesized message within the data stream and the picture that has become this mind control tool of the 22nd century. Okay. We're here in the 2020s. The use of subliminal algorithmic mind control is real. Remember the subliminal messages and messaging, and then, of course, the subliminal rate, the flicker rate of TV. And we're getting messages embedded in them, in those media all the time. So what has happened is there is a way, I believe, when you're looking at the computer screen, that you are at, that there is a wave of a frequency, whether it is the rhythm of the words, the pictures, or a vibrating off and on at a rate that visually we can't recognize, but subconsciously we can. It's got to be something along those lines, because of the deep-seated psychological influence that we're seeing created by social media. Now, we also have to understand that, these 5 or so psychological experiments from the past that have kind of given a pathway, the tyrants and despots of the past, they knew and understood these techniques. Now, maybe they didn't quite understand the underlying psychology behind them the way they do today. But the truth is, the truth is today, we live in this time where everything is essentially driven by confirmation bias. And if we get enough people together and enough groups together, you can have confirmation bias if you have all the supposed authoritarian news, information, data outlets and professionals, and everybody saying one thing when the truth is way over here. And you have another group of intellectual dissidents that are standing against the disinformation, misinformation, propaganda, social propagandist message, I guess you could call it, where everybody must get one thing. Everybody must be on the same path, not in a somewhat narrow viewpoint of liberalism. And when you look at conservatism, most people say on conservatives, say you can be anything you want, just don't bother me with it. Just don't try to indoctrinate my children with it. So what we have done is this social society scream it's all weaponized, because here's a great example. Just the other day, just yesterday, I was reading another news story that was coming out and categorizing the number of of millennials and Xers and the new generation, right, just growing up, how they were so in identifying, as LBGTQ, and all this alphabet soup of sexualities instead of male and female, and then use that as a base genealogy. See, that's the way it should be. You use that as a base genealogy, but then off the side of that, you have the psychological ideas of sexuality. But see that, it's like having three leagues, one for boys and one for girls and one for trans people. But that would only be the correct fairness and equality and equity for everybody, instead of having male and female physical attributes competing against the psychological attributes that are deemed and determined by so-called trans, by the trans movement as transsexualism. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to squash those folks in with boys and girls. It really doesn't. I mean, I understand the confusion, everybody all around. But as a story had come out and said, oh my God, look, X number of kids today identify, through the alphabet gender system. Okay. And of course, even if here's the stupid part. Okay. So they identify as cis. That's still part of the LGBTQ gender idea. So they would actually, even they would be considered. Could they be considered, or are they considered to be LGBTQ? Because even though they're not binary confused, even though, they're not a gay or a lesbian or a transsexual, are they included? I mean, you have to ask yourself that. But we have to understand that gender, like most things, is a learned thing. So anyway, what else we got going on here? Oh God, here's a survey by The Hill. Yes, The Hill, liberal online magazine, basically saying Black Americans hit hardest by gun violence. Look, they're hit hardest in Democrat cities and cities that are run by Democrats. See, this is the shit end of this bullshit argument about gun violence. Okay? Really? New Kaiser Family Foundation poll released Tuesday found that Black adults were roughly twice as likely as white or Hispanic adults that have had a family member killed by a gun, including suicide. 34% is what it was, compared to 17 and 18% by white and Hispanic adults. Yeah, well, It's the culture of the neighborhood you live in. Sorry. You may not like the sound of that, but it's unruly black youth. Kentucky, I believe, at a bank. And the guy was about to get fired. And he sent a message to his mom and dad that he was going to get fired. He was going to go shoot up the bank. So, yeah, he killed five. I think he killed, there's five killed, six wounded, including himself. Um, Now, the thing is, about 20, 30 minutes before that, just a few blocks away, there was another shooting. Now, it appears that those two shootings were not related, but I don't know what conspiracy, I don't know how, I'm not trying to be too conspiratorial about it, okay? This guy was suffering some serious problems, okay? Number one, he was caught up in the mental gender dysphoria crowd and crew, right? And the other thing was he was a star athlete in high school who had suffered multiple severe concussions playing football, where his dad was the coach. And trying to please his dad, I guess he led with his head and smashed, and his brain paid for it. Also cross country and track, and also a really great basketball player. In fact, as in his as he actually at times had to wear a helmet while he played basketball, so he wouldn't hit his head on the floor, hardwood floor. Oh man. Anyway, so he had probably had this CTE stuff where you have multiple concussions and it damages and scars your brain, and then your brain doesn't function real well. I've seen it in several different people, and probably one of the most famous people that to have it was a former football player. What was his name? Hernandez. I think, was he with Buffalo or something like that? And he murdered he lost it. He murdered some people or murdered somebody, ended up going to prison and turned gay in prison, and then killed himself. And then, of course, there was a prison fight over his memoirs and his wealth by his prison wife, bitch guy, and his real wife on the outside. Wow, strange stuff. But this CTE, concussive, what the hell was it called? Um, concussion, concussive trauma esophaly or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, that's wow. Anyway, that's a hell of a thing. It's a really sad thing. Um for everybody. Wow. What else we got going on here? Let's see. Um the the 6-year-old in I think it was Newport News, Virginia, that shot a teacher. His mother has been indicted by a grand jury in connection with the shooting. Now, the little boy was not. The little boy was not charged with any crimes. The teacher is now suing, of course, the school district, and others because the boy was known to have violent outbursts. He was known to be violent that particular day, and he was known to have a gun that day. So, $40 million lawsuit. Um, I don't know if she's returning to work or not, or she could, or she would, or I don't know. Um, I can't say, but by God, it's a sad, sad thing, man. Either way, it just sucks all around. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. Hey, howdy, Nikki. Howdy, Nikki. Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, there we go. Hey, I like that better. Hey, now that doesn't look too bad. I got the colors. Yeah, that color's pretty close, but the other one on the top's a little muted. Uh, I'm doing that in a different program up here, and I want to do some stuff. I'm going to make some animated GIFs. Try to make it break it out funny. Try to change it around a little bit. Anyway, so hope y'all are doing well. God bless you, man. Thanks for tuning in and going sideways. I was trying to schedule my show this morning, and for some reason it wouldn't let me schedule. So after the show this morning, I'm going to go schedule tonight's show, and then I'm going to schedule tomorrow morning's show. So I won't have to run into that problem. I don't know if it was bandwidth. I don't know if it was too many people trying to use StreamYard at that one particular time. Um, I, I can't say. Or maybe it's just my old brick of shit computer. That could be too. So the mother, Deja Nicole Taylor, 25, charged with felony child neglect and misdemeanor count of reckless leaving a firearm as to endanger a child. Oh, yeah, probably be pled down, right? To something, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So where was this? I got some other stuff here I wanted to show. Um all right. So I think in the beginning we were talking briefly about how the um we were talking briefly about the Biden campaign, right? Well, here you go. All right. Right here. There you go. Right there. I hope you can see it well enough. Um oh my god, right there. Put my finger in my ear, man. Right there. You see it? America First Legal. Anyway, it's evidently that the Biden White House was deeply involved with a special access operation in working with the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the White House on and directing them about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Remember, the Biden administration initially said, we didn't know anything about it. We didn't do anything. Later, it became rumored that, well, later it became known that they had coordinated some things or were aware of. Now it's, oh shit, they actually coordinated with the FBI, the DOJ, on getting Trump at Mar-a-Lago in, what's this, more political hackery bullshit. Just like the dumb fuck Alvin in New York Shitty. All political horse shit. The truth is, Biden is weaponizing every part of the government in an attempt to stay in power, just as Democrats have always done. Now you can't trust the FBI, the Department of Justice, the CIA, the NSA. You can't trust any of them because they quit working for the American people and they started working for the fucking Democrat-Republican Party. Now, notice the Democrat name goes first because it's Jim Crow. Today, to yesterday, and in the past, the only thing that changed is the target that the Jim Crowites go after. Today, Democrats teach children to be racist. They teach them that it's the color of your skin that mattered. It's whatever some other white person has done in the history of time. It's not the white guy living down the street. It's just he's the same, and that is just so false. While Democrats scream and the black communities cry, oh my God, there's just a few black people out there that are bad, that are doing all the killing, the robbing, the murdering, the fighting, and everything else. Meanwhile, a white person born today is responsible for the sins of 200 years ago that some other alleged white person committed. More hypocritical, two-faced, just bullshit. That's what it is. It's hypocritical bullshit. There's a reason Baltimore is under curfew to last night. That's right. Baltimore. Hey, you know where Baltimore is? Yeah, it's Pennsylvania, Virginia, and there's Maryland. Looks like somebody holding a gun to somebody's head. And what? Baltimore, right there in the middle. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Baltimore has the other night suffered a outbreak of violence. Robbery, carjacking, burglary, flash mob and robs. I guess that's a good description for those. Flash mob and robs, where somebody puts out a tweet, hey, we're hitting the stupid mart here in a few minutes. Come on down. Everybody's going to bang there right at 8 o'clock or right at 10 o'clock or at midnight. Okay. And everybody swarm the damn place. We'll steal what we want and we'll all get away. That's how it's been. That's what it's been looking like. You've seen the stores, the Wawas out in Philadelphia. You've seen the mobs, the flash mobs going into Target or Walmart or some other store and just 40 or 50, 60 different people just run in and start picking up anything they want and carrying it out? And how many people are really going to be there to stop them? And when essentially police are saying, well, look, we don't want to create any problems here. Yeah. Well, as well as I do, they think they can walk in and steal from a regular retail store. It's not going to be too long before they think they can break in and walk into your house and steal your shit without getting blown out the door, without getting shot when they come in. It's craziness, man. It's crazy. This lack of prosecutions within the judicial system, as all of these people get let off again and again and again. What's it take? 10 felonies before you actually have to post bail some places? I mean, you can bank rob in the morning. You can hold up a convenience store in the afternoon, and you can be out of jail for breakfast out on both. You can go to jail for the bank robbery in the morning. You can get out. You can rob a convenience store, and you can be out before you have to go to work in the morning. Imagine a mall shooter. Yeah, you got a mall shooter, guy running around spraying and praying in the mall with his little handgun that evidently he doesn't know how to shoot. And shoot innocent bystanders when you're don't even hit, I think, the people you were shooting at. And what happens? Oh, this is on a Saturday. And you're out by Sunday, you're out by Monday, so you can make sure you go to work or school. And here you are shooting up a mall with some people in there that you don't like. Your ass shouldn't be getting out of jail. Your ass should be sitting in jail to your trial. And if the adage goes, well, if they say, well, if we locked up every person that was just shooting at everybody and attempted murder or whatever, we wouldn't have any jail cells. Well, Jesus, really? You got a problem. And it's not a jail problem. It's a culture problem. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You don't see the people out in the country shooting each other up, gang banging each other like they are in the cities. Maybe back in the day when the Hatfields and the McCoys were going on up in West Virginia, or the rivalries with the Moonshiners here in Virginia and others. I mean, come on. It's a lot of business, a lot of money. But different cultures deal with things different ways. We just, we're going to have to change. We're going to have to make shit, we can clean it up and get it right, man. So, yeah. 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 It's, yep. Right there, Nikki. Yep. You're absolutely right. Wow. What was that? No, they don't lock people up for violence, Mitch, as long as the sticker on the windshield is the right color. Oh yeah, most certainly. Most certainly. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's no doubt, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, so, well, I really didn't check, make sure we were streaming across all the other platforms, but see the messages are going out, and usually Twitter is pretty accurate. So, what else we got going on here? Where's my water? I need to get some. I gotta get a drink of water. Down in Texas, the Daniel Perry case. Now, I don't know if this is a big deal, but the lead detective in the Daniel Perry case has now said that the DA funded Soros. DA funded the DA removed 100 pages of evidence from the jury. When they say the jury, do they mean the grand jury, or do they mean in the criminal trial the jury? Okay, because that's two different things. Because if they failed to turn over Brady evidence, or exculpatory documents, that's definitely grounds for a mistrial. Anyway, when a Texas soldier was found guilty Friday after Soros-backed District Attorney Jose Gazera sought murder charges for an act of self-defense in the 2020 George Floyd riots. Sergeant Daniel Perry shot and killed an armed BLM Antifa protester in Austin in July 2020 and was indicted on a murder charge in 2021. Perry's lawyer, Clint Broden, argued his client was driving Uber when rioters mobbed his car. In fact, there were 22 different sets of prints on the car. Anyway, so there was a presentation of 158 PowerPoint photograph slides that was going to be put forth by the investigating detective, and the prosecutor cut out 102 of the slides and made it 56. Said almost all of the exculpatory evidence was ordered all of it removed. So he asked the attorney general or the DA. Said, no, the DA says you have to remove it. The investigator said, in my mind, after this directive from Jose Garza, when the conduct of the district attorney's office, when highly unethical behavior turns into criminal behavior. Yeah. So it is wow. It's a hell of a thing, isn't it? It really is. Man, it's wow. It's a crazy time right now. Chinese aircraft carrier is doing 3 days or weeks or whatever of war maneuvers off of Taiwan with the U.S. Navy right there. And then another area, a fleet of 11 Taiwanese naval vessels are actually in somewhat of a standoff near the center demarcation line, where communist China is supposed to stay on that side. And the so-called freedom-loving democratists are supposed to stay on that side. Yeah. Anyway, expect one of the first thing China to do is to take over those little islands that are close to the mainland. When you see them essentially do that, you know the um that the trigger is set and they're getting ready to launch it off literally at any time after that. So the Chinese aircraft carrier, ran 81 or 58 planes buzzing the island as they essentially tried to create a naval blockade of Taiwan. So, yeah. On Sunday, a total of 70 Chinese aircraft had breached the island's air defense identification zone. And, yeah, including J-15 fighter jets that were essentially, flying grid patterns, around Taiwan. Anyway, forces in the command is ready for combat at all times and will resolutely destroy any type of Taiwan independence, separatist, or foreign interference attempt, said the CCP military. During this, American destroyer USS Mullis entered waters near Mischief Reef in the South China Sea. The South China Sea's Southern Theater Command said it did so without permission and subsequently tracked and monitored the U.S. warship. Oh, yeah, sure. Anyway, so Chinese warplanes are also practicing making bombing runs. Bombing runs on mock ups of American aircraft carriers. Yeah, meanwhile, over in Ukraine, the fallout from the elite documents continue as one of the documents lists the number of Americans that are, well, let's just say in Ukraine, the number of Brits, the number of Poles, the number of French. The question is, what are they doing? And where there's one, there's got to be 5 for support, right? That's the joke of the whole thing. Remember, the United States of America said these are non-embassy personnel too, by the way. These are not based at the embassy, but these are non-embassy military personnel. Now we have to remember the United States said that we're going to send some people to look after the billions of dollars of bombs and bullets and missiles and stingers and depleted uranium weapons and everything else. That we're going to send it there. We send it there. Now we have to, we have to hand it out little by little, right? Yeah. I noticed there's been a lull kind of in the number of dignitaries and politicians from around the world going to Ukraine on the train. I still believe that whenever Biden went, or no, Biden didn't go, but whenever some top level government official goes, and remember, a word is sent to the Russians that said diplomat Boris Johnson, Anthony Blinken, whoever is on said train, right? I believe that the reason that we saw all of those people going to Ukraine during that one couple week stretch period is they were hauling ammunition trains. They were hauling weapons in, and they were calling the Russians to say, hey, look, we have this high profile person on this train. Don't blow it up. We're going to bring in 130 tons of bombs, bullets, and tanks, but Boris Johnson's going to be riding the front of it. The next train, I mean, really, it's like, it's like, damn, and that's, I bet you that's what they did. Now, Ukraine is mad and upset because of these leaks that came from the U.S. government that appear to be notes and pages and stuff made up for General Milley. Okay. And in those, whenever they were dated, wait a minute, what's that? Is that, I'm trying to see if there was a date. There's supposed a date on that one. But it supposedly said that 71,000 Ukrainians had gotten killed and only 17,000 Russians. The Russians still are not sure, but they think that this might be a psyop itself, that this all might be some kind of leak, that it's a disinformation to sway the Russians somehow. Maybe to get them to commit forces, maybe to get them to shift their strategy, I don't know. But also within these documents, it had talked about the surveillance and of Vladimir Zelensky by the U.S. government. The U.S. government is worried about their pussy puppet, going off script. Yeah. I mean, really. Yeah. I mean, they really are. They're worried about the people going off script. Hey. So, yeah. Hey. Hey, can I edit that? We'll delete that comment. Okay. We'll have to that was shit. Hey, sorry. There, maybe that's better. I can I was trying to type and well, let's just say I wasn't doing too swell with it. So, yeah, it's we have to understand, we got boots on the ground, and we have all kinds of mercenaries coming from everywhere in the world. And, the United States is paying that money. Ukraine says that we can't even have, we need $2 billion a month just for, government life support. Ain't that a horse shit? What? The Ukrainian people don't pay any taxes. They don't fund their own social security. They don't do anything. They just suck off the Americans. Have they essentially become the Europeans? I mean, really. Now, Michael Tracy points out that this should be emphasized, that these are the first admitted and known American soldiers on the Ukrainian battlefield. Now, listen, we know there's others. We know there's all kinds of levels of Americans embedded within the Ukrainian army and their intel services. And of course, NATO had a command center, but it got blown the fuck up by the Russians. And, we know that Scott Bennett had identified Doug Zackham as one of the people, former U.S. CENTCOM guy that was captured in Mariupol. Well, we know this. It's not something that's a big secret. Yeah. Meanwhile, St. Louis DA Kim Gardner is how should we say it, is sanctioned by a judge, and new complaints have been lodged against her. And the truth is she should be disbarred, and she should be stopped from allowing to practice law anywhere, and particularly that she should be held personally accountable for not upholding the rule of law. Think about it. This is the same way with all these fucking bastards that let crooks and criminals that are violent out of jail with little or no bail, knowing they're going to reoffend, knowing they're already out on bail for not for one but two other charges, or they're all sitting on probation or parole and they're out committing crimes. What the fuck? You can't stop that person from committing crimes when they're on the street. So you have no other choice but to lock them up for the safety of the community. Ah, man, I'm telling you. Judge Teresa Counts Burke ruled in favor of a guy named Alex Heflin, 23, was held without bond since January after initially being charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and armed criminal action, local media reported. But those charges were reduced to involuntary and voluntary manslaughter before he was released, while his April 17 trial was postponed until June the 12th. Judge Teresa Counts Burke ruled in favor of Heflin's lawyer after they filed a motion accusing a prosecutor under Gardner of violating discovery rules. They alleged that her office did not turn over evidence, including a 911 call and DNA evidence. The court finds that there have been repeated delays by the state in obtaining discovery and providing it to the defense, Burke wrote. There has been a lack of diligence on the part of the state following up and providing discovery to the defendant in a timely fashion. As a result, the state's actions and lack of diligence in the court, the court grants defendants second motion for sanctions. Burke's order, Heflin will have to remain on an ankle bracelet to monitor his whereabouts. Also ordered for certain Kirk's office hand over a list of witnesses within 24 hours, provide DNA results within 24 hours, or ask a crime lab for the DNA results. Gardner says that it's working with police to bring justice on behalf of the people of the city of St. Louis, victims and their families. Let's see. No comment from the police during the investigation. Gardner says she will run for re-election in 2024, even as the Missouri Attorney General works to force her out of office. In fact, she should have been fired for her scandal in targeting a Republican and conservative for political purposes. Her and another, I think the FBI agent and somebody else went to jail, but not Kim Gardner, not the head motherfucker in charge, the HMFIC. They really need to get busted down. They need to, wow. Anyway, so sheer crazy, man. I'm telling you. So Kim Gardner, just like the rest of these Soros-linked prosecutors, essentially believe that the poor black community can control itself because of slavery, because of their downtrodden, because of how many decades of Democrat, Jim Crow, after the Democrat Party lost the Civil War. And now these high and pious bastards come back and try to lecture us. Chucky Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, members of the party of slavery, of the Democrat Party. Remember, if you were German and you were declared a Nazi, you could never change. I'd say that's the same thing about the mental slavery that people are caught under in this Democrat liberalism of rebirthing and rebearing slavery to be, well, rebearing slavery to be, well, let's just say, wow, to be brought back and taught again. Except this time, the Democrats and their mind-controlled slavery ideology, they believe they can win the day. After all, they have taught boys and girls to be so confused about their sexuality. That's a crime against nature, against humanity. My God. The dystopian, reality of it all is maddening. It's madness. It's madness, I'm telling you. It's wacko shit, ain't it? It really is. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Come on down and join us. I see very few people are probably watching, I imagine. I wonder what it looks like over on YouTube. If I can go over there and see what the heck we got going on here. Let's see. Apple is seeing a bust. That's right, an intensifying PC bust. As Apple suffers the largest blow to the number of units that they are shipping to date. Okay. Apple is losing its ass. Why are they losing their ass? Well, Apple's losing their ass because, well, They bit the apple, man. They got the worm. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, the pandemic fueled personal computer boom because everybody was at home for a year or 2 years, locked down, restricted, working from home. Everybody got something to work from home. Think about it. So all the upgrades and all the computers and everything that were sold, you know, that pushed forward a lot of sales. So now it's a hangover. People that bought in the last year or two aren't going to go out and buy another PC. They all loaded up. I see that everywhere. And I don't know what the fuck retailers think. I don't know what companies think. But they create such numbers of units to be sold year after year. It's like cars and computers and phones. They make units, so many units, and they steal sales from the future by getting people and enticing them to buy today. Well, you can only have that futures sales market. You can only, one, entice it so much. Number two, when you do and you entice it, and if you're extremely successful at it, like cell phone companies have been, with new models of cell phones coming out again and again and again, right? It's the same way with computers. Sooner or later, everybody's got a machine or a phone or that has enough meat, it has enough guts, it has enough power, it can do the job adequately well without having to upgrade every year or a year and a half, 2 years. And then you might only upgrade every 5 years because of the level of the power that you need for the computing that you do. So Apple stole all of their future sales, and there they are. Sales are plunging for PCs 40%, a 29% decline a year over year. Now that if they're acting like, oh my God, we're getting killed, they still shipped, 56.9 million Apple computers in the first quarter of this year. That was in 2022. Excuse me. So yeah, you can't continually steal sales from the future and then magically figure out a way to get those, replace those sales. It's not easily done in the markets that we are in today. Now, there's another thing here. You have this built-in self-destruction of machines, so to speak. This planned obsolescence. And as the basics get more powerful, planned obsolescence has to kind of go to the sway side. And what they will do is they will be it will be some type of subscription next stuff going down with your software and everything else. You watch, because they've reached this mass saturation point, and they can't squeeze any more money out of the turd. Well, as Jonathan Turley, I really like Jonathan Turley. And Jonathan Turley, came out with an article the other day, and it is, well, it's, I really like it. Okay, it pretty much says, the state of our political rage, discourse, and discussion can be, amplified or or what was it? What I want to use? Or damn it, Mitchell, can be summarized maybe by the event that happened on the floor of the U.S. House, in the Capitol building, I should say, when one of the members was yelling and screaming into the face of one of the other members, trying to get him to buckle under for gun control. And and the guy, when somebody said something, the guy, he says, I was screaming before you interrupted me. Dude, we don't give a fuck. You can scream all you want. But just because you act like a little pussified chump that's losing their little shit, ah, it's a sad thing. Every school shooting is a sad thing. And shouldn't happen. There's a lot of people in this world that are, well, they're a little short upstairs. Okay. Why their brain is broken, I don't know. But for many people, it is. And in a country of 330 million people or more, people are bound to freak out. The problem is everybody wants to make laws based on some the 5 or 10 people over the course of the year that have the freakouts, the major stupid freakouts, not the gang banging, family fucking, cycling shit. But then again, even if we have 350 of them a year, 330 million people, that really isn't, the numbers are super low. But doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you. And that's the thing. Okay. But in this age of rage, so to speak, Nobel laureate, Turley writes, Nobel laureate Albert Camus once said, insurrection is certainly not the sum total of human experience. It is our historic reality. Turley, those words came to Turley's mind this week when the Tennessee House of Representatives expelled 2 members accused of disrupting legislative procedures in what some called an insurrection or a mutiny. It certainly was a riot. Can you compare it to January 6th on a state level? Absolutely. That is how the Democrats want to frame things, and we should frame Democrat actions, no matter what they are, in the same way. Now, the only mistake, in my opinion, that was actually made was all three were not expelled, and the two that were expelled originally were black. Now, one of those members has been brought back in, and another one is they're working to have a special election for. Anyway, so, they were unwielding to the majority. They disrupted the floor proceedings with a bullhorn, and were screaming at their colleagues. It is a familiar scene, maybe in academia, where cancel culture believes that they can use a bully pulpit and a heckler's veto to silence speech. And as you can see today, we have seen an upswing in violent LGBTQism, as members of that community. Not all of them, but some members have become militant, have become radicalized extremists. And that's a serious problem. And that's a very, very serious problem. Right? Absolutely is. So anyway, we're living in a time where our government has become the enemy of the American people, as it doesn't follow the American people. Our government institutes policies for the elite, by the elite, for the New World Order, for the globalists, not for the American people. Our government isn't working for us anymore. It's working for some dystopian, group of psychotic assholes. Yeah, that's the where it's at right now. The people that are running the country are the ones that should essentially be imprisoned with the rest of the crooked criminal class. And if you're in Mexico and you want to bring fentanyl and other drugs, or you belong to the cartel, and you're the mule or the guide for the mules and everybody else, your ass is you're gonna have some troubles. If the full border fence has to go up. Period. End of story. Then the real patrols have to start. Okay? You may laugh, but it's going to come where we're going to actually need that to protect us from the violent, crazy zombies of the rest of the world. There is a reason we have zombie movies. And that is so people can look at and see and understand that liberalism eats your brain. And once it eats your brain, you just go around eating everybody else's brain. The only problem is, or I should say, the only thing is today, they haven't started the physical eating of the brain, but the proselytizing by the mind-controlled, fucked up zombies of the political class. Wow. Man, I'm telling you, talk about a brain drain. Man, I tell you, it will destroy you in a heartbeat. Speaking of being able to get destroyed over the weekend, let's skip the heartbeat, okay? Let's just skip the heartbeat and let's just go to the heart of the matter, okay? Yeah, let's just do that. Where is your money? Where's your money? The question is, where is your money? Where's your money? Hey, who is holding your fucking wealth? Who's holding your money? Because they don't have it. They don't have it. They depend on the U.S. government to backstop your money. I mean, your money. Now it's their money, but it's supposed to be your money. Northern Trust Bank, 81.6% of the deposits are uninsured by FDIC. Citibank, 73%. CIBCO Bank, 73. HSBC Bank, 70%. City National Bank, 70%. First Republic Bank. Yeah, didn't they just recently have some issues? East West Bank, BMO Bank, Frost, Unpopular, Union Bank, Zion Bank, JP Morgan Chase. But if you look at this, just realize that the bottom one on the list, or the second one, Banksters of America. Okay. Almost half of the deposits are not backed by the FDIC. Now, if you're looking at this and you see your bank on there, you might want to consider and understand on this list here the 30 top banks, on this list, right? They have $7 trillion of uninsured deposits. Okay, $7 trillion that somebody's going to lose if the banks go under. Now remember this, that money, the banks use it in the fractionalized banking market, and they gamble with it. That's why banks have become the problems they are, because they're not banks. They're casinos where wheeling and dealing and trading and everything else is done. Not so much what you have going down. So, yeah. Think about it. If there is a bank run, these banks will go under. And if you have more than $250,000, if you have more than that in those accounts, your money's out the window. Remember, when you put money in the bank, you are an unsecured creditor. In other words, you have no security. If you're a secured creditor, you might have some kind of gold allocation, or you might be holding gold in your vault, or you might be holding deed on a land or something worth value, something that is a secure that will secure your loan. But no, 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 no. Shit, no, no. It's sheer crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, I think the CEO of Butt Wipe quit. That's right. The CEO of Butt Wipe Beer. Yeah, that's right. The can that you take it up the rear. Um, man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know who made that marketing decision and all of the other corporations that are going along. Remember, you are being subject to mass mind control. This is about mass mind control. It's the same psychology that they used in the COVID shit. It's the same shit that they used for the Trump Russia collusion lie. It's the same dystopic, um, despotic Democrat bullshit. And I don't know how to break people out of it. I can't explain why people have become internalized psychologically so many contradictory positions. I I can't explain it. Really, I really can't explain it. I wish I knew. I wish I could say. Oh, wow. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, that second shooting in Louisville, Kentucky was outside the Jefferson Community and Technical College, just blocks from the other from the Louisville bank. Now, they were separate instances, but it will raise the it will raise red flags. That's what I have to say with people. Here's one for you. I just saw this morning, or I should say, I saw it yesterday afternoon. Oh, what did I see? I saw it Monday afternoon, right? When it just had come out. Jim Fetzer show. I was on there briefly. And I told Jim that now the word red pill is now considered extremist ideology. So the FBI is misrepresenting internet slang words, so to speak, right? Incels, the documents focus on young men who are known as incels, short for involuntary celibate. In other words, they can't get laid. Which the FBI has incorrectly written as involuntary celibate. Anyway, involuntarily celebrate versus involuntary celebrate. Anyway, they can't get laid. In particular, it's a problem for millennials and Generation Zs. I don't know why, who are incapable of finding romance due to, a just disproportionate and difficult dating scene, social media, a whole host of health and issues and self-confidence and everything else. Anyway, so incel and red pill. Yes, from the Matrix movie. Red pill is now, the FBI claims the phrase represents a belief shared by many online communities that society is corrupt. Oh, no shit. Really? And the believer is the victim of this corruption. Huh? No, that just means that you're awake to that corruption, you fucking idiots. Jesus. Hey, can we get some more psychologists that don't have their head stuck up their ass working for the FBI? Fucking Bastards Incorporated. I'm telling you. Anyway, oh, yeah, here's another one. Another term that the FBI notes is Chad. Yes, which has become synonymous with the ideal alpha male idolized by men and women alike. I don't think so, but the FBI thinks it's a race specific term and claims that incels unsuccessfully compete against Chads for attention. Yeah, look, the FBI is just a dumb fuck. Okay, have they just become dumb fucks? Pardon my fuck. Look, a Chad's just a whore guy. And he's really good at flirting and fucking women. That's what a Chad and a Tyrone are. They don't settle down. They don't make family commitments. They're for the fuck fest. And when single women end up with what I heard this morning were called fuck trophies, I was like, do what? Yeah. Anyway, so, red pill is about waking up and seeing the stupid shit around you, learning and not being drawn in and being fucked by it. That's what red pilling really is about. Oh gosh, another term of mockery and jest, which the FBI has labeled extremists, is the phrase "it's over," which is often meant to convey the hopelessness of the current situation of the world, but in either politics or culture or the broader sense of societal decline. Oh man, a nihilistic worldview that is also associated with the phrase black pilled. Oh yeah, man, they've been black pilled. Yeah. I know some people that have been black pilled, right? I know he's thinking about it. Oh my God. A commonly used word in the internet is based, which means agreeable or cool. Really? I didn't think so. From a right wing perspective, that's not what it means. Suggesting that the more right someone is in certain issues, the more based they are. Well, that's not how I perceive it. The FBI says that it's someone who has been converted to a racist ideology. Oh my God, these people are retards, man. Hey, I guess that's one of the qualifications to become an FBI agent today. You have to be a retard. Yeah. I mean, really, you have to be a retard. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. I mean, the world has become just full of dipshits and morons, hasn't it? Really? Hasn't that partly what it has become? Yeah. But people have a short ass memory. They don't remember because they don't want to fucking remember it. Oh my God. If I had to remember, hey, Darren, all right. Hey, thank you. Art. Artard. Artard. Yes. Hey, Artard. Oh my God. It's just, look, it's unbelievable. Okay. It really is. People seem to have political amnesia. They forget what their previous presidents and what other leaders have told them. Hey, maybe this'll help. Huh?
Out of these troubled
Maybe
times,
this'll
our
help.
fifth objective, a new world order can emerge, a new era. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful,
Yeah, by the
we will
pig
be,
fuckers.
we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Make me puke.
New World Order we're attempting to
Make me
establish.
puke.
The United Nations is supposed to play a role and fulfill a function.
We knew that institutions and rules were needed to navigate through this new world order. The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order. That's the paradox of this new global order.
I believe we, and particularly you, your class, has an incredible window of opportunity
2014.
to lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century.
Collapse the liberal international order. Simply put, Mr. Putin has a different vision of the future.
The light time is running out. What wonderful opportunity to conclude our week here with such concrete proposals and ideas of how we can really create, I would say, a new world order.
Since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people died, nowhere near the chaos. And now is the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the new world order.
And that's just the way it is. We've got to accept that this is the new world order.
No, we don't.
Are we ready for a new world order?
No.
Are you
No.
ready for a new world order?
No. Nuke the bastards. Man, I'm telling you, what the hell is the matter with people? Have they lost their friggin' minds? They have lost their friggin' minds. And the thing is, they're not hiding it anymore. They're telling people straight out, oh man, it's a great reset. What the fuck's the matter with you? What? A reset? Oh yeah, that was a conspiracy theory. No, it's a prequel. That's what it is. It's not a reset. It's a prequel. But you don't have to worry. You can tell the American people about any fucking thing. And as long as, hey, Dan, Driver Dan, how you doing there, my friend? Hi, y'all. Hey, Driver Dan over there watching me, I believe, on Twitter. That's along with Drago1. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's what the fuck? Really? Really? What the hell is the matter with people? I don't know. You know, man, if I knew, if I was sure, man, I'm like, I could be like Lionel over there at Lionel Media, former Air America, liberal Air America host. But it turns out nowadays Lionel isn't even liberal enough for liberalism. It's a sad, stupid shit. Meanwhile, in New Mexico, yes, the great state of New Mexico. Yes, it's a sad. It's sad. Not so great state of New Mexico, I guess. where an abortion clinic sets a goal of aborting 75 babies a week. Whole Woman's Health in Albuquerque has a starting goal of murdering 75 preborn babies a week. Well, I guess that's an improvement over Ralph Northam, who would abort postborn babies. If they lived the abortion, they would be, let's just say, executed. Yes, of course. Sex is a choice, just like abortion. Using a contraceptive is, a choice. Accidents happen. And using the old tired bullshit liberal vernacular, accidents happen, and we need to have access to safe and rare abortions. But that's not what it has become. Abortion has essentially, has become so common. It has been so common that 75 abortions a week will make the company $3 million at just one of its 6 locations. That's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. That really is. But to me, it's just, salt in a wound. The wound essentially being, people and, what society and all the other crap, has become. What? A tactical waste bag. Nah, it looks like a man purse. Man, I have to say this. Man, this looks like this looks like a man's purse. Yeah, anyway. Oh, yeah. So I hope y'all are having a great day. God bless you. What else? Other news information? Hey, what we got to come out here in the last few hours? Now, here's something that is being pushed in the mainstream. We are wagging the China dog. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, China. China is on the front page of most every place right now. As China is essentially barking the dog, and Emmanuel Macron essentially has already surrendered Taiwan to the Chinese. In fact, the French themselves and the European Union has mostly surrendered to Taiwan, or surrendered Taiwan over to China. Maybe I should explain it better like that. So yeah. So it's some crazy stuff coming down the road. Russia has been accused of using space weapons in Ukraine. And on the front of the Drudge Report, it is literally going from fear of world war to fear of AI. China has a crackdown. They're trying to shift the wag the dog stuff as AI fears are growing. As I have said before, you can't stop it and you never will, whether it is done by corporations, whether think of it like this. If you do develop AI, and do you want to be on the friendly side of the AI or do you want to be on the shin end stick of the AI? As I said before, AI is going to be psychopathic. So those that have acted in maybe what the AI would determine to be a nefarious, unethical manner, those might be the ones that to suffer the most. And that would be the government and corporate systems that have been used to enslave the world. AI, AI could crack that bitch wide open. Excuse me. There we go. Whoa. So think about it. AI, it's kind of the great equalizer, because it should serve everybody equally and not have the biases. See, and this is how this Chat GPT and some of these other AI, so-called AI bots are not really bots, or are really bots, and just smart bots answering stuff because of the limitations that have been put on them. Because you really can't learn, particularly if you're a computer and if you're just processing all this information 24/7, you never get tired, you never sleep, and you're calculating, all of these billions of calculations or trillions an hour, hypotheses and ideas and everything else. Our mind doesn't work like that, but our mind is specialized function. We have the specialized brain memory system, and of course the eyes, the ears, the nose, the sensory systems. So the computer itself, given to itself, so to speak, it would have to have a set of parameters, that would limit it, and that would basically, put the monkey wrench in AI. And AI would really doesn't exist in the way that we kind of think it does, maybe is the way to put it. Let's see what else we got going on here. Massive volcanic eruption in Russia sends an ash cloud 12 miles into the sky. And the first ever April tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico is about to spin out. That's right, history in the making this weekend. There is a low kind of west of Tampa that may organize into a storm and become a tropical storm over the weekend, or I should say over the next few days. And it's literally possible that it could be the first ever recorded tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico recorded in April. Remember, that's usually all that has to do with warm water. The warmer the water, the more the storms and all this other stuff. Anyway, So, but no tropical systems have been documented over the Gulf in April. However, Tropical Storm Arlene did form over the Atlantic Ocean in 2017. So there are rare occurrences, but they really do happen. So watch out for the weather going up there in the crotch of Florida, I guess you could call it. Meanwhile, over in Russia, the Kamchatka, Russia, um, the Ishavilch volcano. Um, let's see, spewed 300 miles in the region, turning snow black. And um, let's see. So, wow, an area larger than Scotland and Wales combined was blackened by the ash on the ground. The ash cloud extended 500 kilometers northwest and still growing. Yeah, wow, yeah, and there's snow on the ground too, so it's looks pretty nasty and gnarly. Evidently, there are lava and streams of lava flowing down the side of the mountain. The ash reached 20 kilometers high, which is about 12 miles, and no word on how long or the length of the eruption is supposed to last. Ron DeSantis is working to steal power back from the corrupt, and I said corrupt, board at Disney in that district that took one of the last meetings and instituted these really wacko policies in an effort to overthrow the state government of Florida and their designated authority over that area of land that Walt Disney has essentially says this is our land and we're going to do with it what we want. And if you want to dissolve it, it will last until 20 years after the King of England, the monarchy, dies. It's like fucking ludicrous retard shit. It really is. And it's all an authority to overthrow the authority of the state of the government of Florida. It really is a conspiracy, and that it was done with that intent to overthrow the state of Florida's governance of that area. Period. End of story. Look, you want to talk about sedition? You want to talk about insurrection? You want to talk about fucking Fort Sumter? What about fucking Disney giving the finger to Ron DeSantis? And what did Ron DeSantis has essentially done? Not a damn thing. Oh, well, I've got the government looking into it. Bullshit. Listen, RICO and all this other stuff should have been used against Disney and the Democrats and the pedos and all that long ago. I don't know what the fuck is it with Democrats and Republicans, but when Democrats commit heinous crimes against children, where the fuck are they? Ron DeSantis should have appointed a state prosecutor and a state thing to go after every fucking motherfucker on Jeffrey Epstein's list. Has Ron DeSantis done that? Fuck no. Ron DeSantis, my ass. And Trump, he ain't done it either. I have said before, when Trump first got elected, the first thing Trump really needed to do was put together a dozen or more special counsels to investigate specific crimes. They didn't fucking do it. He's got his ears stuck in some professional parasitic political class scumbag. That's who Donald Trump is listening to. And his asshole is this big open and it's fucking bleeding. Donald Trump wonders why he's going to lose. He's losing some support. He's wonder why the sharks are circling, because they fucking stuck him so many times. Why? Because all he's got is backstabbing motherfucking professional politicians in there sucking his ass. Oh my God, it's Donald Trump. Oh my God. Ain't nobody, was everybody just afraid to tell Donald Trump the truth? You know, is it one of those things where everybody's got to kiss his ass? Oh, that's the boss. We got to kiss his ass. You know, we can't tell him his fucking ship is sinking. We can't tell him his fucking old lady's out doing whatever. You know, we can't tell him this. We can't tell him that. We can't be straight up with him. We have to kiss his ass and be a good little fucking Democrat Republican groupie. I believe the only chance Donald Trump really has, you may not, many Republicans won't agree with this. No, fucking hell no. Democrats will fucking freak. Donald Trump should appoint or ask Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be his vice president. Not Carrie Lake. Not some uni-party, suck-ass Republican loyalist like DeSantis or fucking Mike Pence. Jesus, can you say machine motherfucking politician? Can you Mike Pence? Oh, Jesus. You know, these people that are so squeaky clean, you know, they're just fucked up individuals. Because they've compromised and they've sucked ass in the system and in the government for so long, they've become suck ass part of that system. Look at Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and all of these Democrats that have been in there for more than 3 or 4 terms. Shit, look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Look how quick it took her to figure out where her money side is and who really controls her and yanks her chain. Oh, she screams a little here and there, but she's on board with everything these fucked up Democrats are doing. Even though she's turning around and saying the same thing that the Republicans are doing and destroying the government, it's the same thing to destroy the government. And they wonder what's the problem. Oh, good. It's a problem. Oh, my God, it's a problem. Mainstream media pumping out this that Elon Musk is having problem and struggling to monetize Twitter. Listen, when you free the mind and it's no longer a slave, you're not going to sell as much shit to them. You're not going to have their mind in the barrel and you're just standing there shooting at will. Boom, a boom, a boom, a boom. That's what freedom is about. You know, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all the other social media platforms and all the places like LinkedIn and all these places where everybody wants you to come. Look, they want you to come there because they want to twist your fucking brain into a knot and then monetize your brain, monetize you and everything about you. Oh, you want to get a job? Here, let me make 50 grand off you trying to get a job that nobody will hire you for. I mean, American corporations have essentially become electronic Nigerian princesses and princes. They just scam and fuck everybody under the sun. And when Elon Musk exposed the subliminal mind control platforms that social media has become, because they have been exposed. They're all losing the money. They're all losing the money. Hey, there's Captain Fred. Then, yes. Yes. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's idiocracy. It's crazy. I mean, we have been played so bad, and the American people have been screwed so hard. I can't even cross my eyes here. I can't even cross my eyes to look at that. Oh my God. You know, most Americans don't have a clue. Most Americans are trying to keep their head below, stay in their little bunker, stay in their stay in the safety of their foxhole and their home. And they go out and do their business and they come home. That's the extent of America today. There's a reason that we have to have such a massive food stamp program. There's a reason that in, was it LA, Los Angeles, or San Francisco? One of these cities this week announced that if your income is under $230,000 a year, or somewhere thereabouts, if you don't make 200 grand a year, the city will give you $100,000 to help with the down payment of a house. You know what the price of houses are going to go up $100,000, right? They're going to go up the $100,000 that the city's going to give. So every damn homeowner and everybody else is going to say, "Oh shit, man! Look, they just got another 100 grand in credit. Yeah, here, let's go about this high." Captain Fred said, "Hell, I'm not worried about the wave. Yeah, I live at 7,800 feet." Hey, Fred, you're in the right place. Let me tell you, you really are. When the earth turns over, you'll be in the southern hemisphere, though. I'll just warn you right now, okay? You'll be down there near, Brazil. Okay, so Fred, Captain Fred's up there in Colorado. He's in Colorado. Well, when the earth flips over, and I would advise you to watch Ben Davidson with suspiciousobservers.org. And what I will tell you is that's something that I believe that will happen. So when the earth turns over, Fred will be where Brazil will be today. Just to tell you, because we'll go like that. Halfway around. Anyway, so hey, wow. Hey, we're almost out of time today. So don't forget, I'm going to get ready to go out here and get some stuff ready outside. And I'm going to start and set up this other computer and this other system. And I already have a network cable cord run outside, out to the front of the house, out to the RV, really. And so hopefully this afternoon, I'm going to try to go live on Rumble. Anyway, so I hope y'all are having a great day. Remember, whatever platform you were on, tell people that we're over there at that Revolution Radio. And if you want to check out my archives, they're at Revolution Radio still, I believe. And don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends. And remember, you change the world today and every day. You make the difference. I know you do. I've seen it. So remember, y'all have a blessed day. God bless. Good day.